We now know the identity of the greatest Cardano salesman of all. It's the Ethereum ecosystem. Those guys can't stop, won't stop, losing everybody's money over there. Ready? Let's go. It's happened again. People in Ethereum keep losing horrific amounts of money. It's really tragic and terrible for the people involved. I mean, I'm sure some people have lost their life savings here. But at a certain point, you have to ask yourself a couple questions. Maybe we shouldn't constantly be letting other people hold our crypto. What if there's a better way to do this? What if there's a better way fundamentally to build a network so that these kind of things are less likely to happen? This is episode 99. This is your last chance to get questions in for the Ask Me Somethings episode, number 100, which is tomorrow. So send your questions to armyofspiesblack@gmail.com. This is your last chance. So here is the big announcement that set the world of Twitter afire. This came out on June 22nd. Stakehound says, so Stakehound is the second biggest Ethereum stake pool, if I understand correctly. On May 2nd, we were informed by one of our custody providers, Fireblocks, that 38,178 of our staked Ethereum was rendered inaccessible. Fireblocks failed to secure the cryptographic keys, and then they go into some detail about how 3 of 4 keys was required. You know, typical crypto private key sharding kind of stuff. But the upshot of this whole thing is they're suing their custody provider Fireblocks in the Israeli High Court. So I don't know about you guys, but I don't think the Israeli High Court has some kind of like secret reverse hash machine where, you know, in the back room, like the judge can just go back there and like reverse the hashes, you know, break the Ethereum algorithms and produce the private keys. If those private keys are lost, the private keys are lost. Right? And if I do the math here, let's see, 38,178 price right now of Ethereum. What is it, like 1,970? So we're talking about something in the neighborhood of $75,210,660. $75 million worth of Ethereum, poof, gone. And there's no secret hash reversing machine that can produce those keys. If that money's gone, it's gone. You think Fireblocks has $75 million just laying around? The Israeli High Court can order them to hand that over to Stakehound so the Stakehound can make their users whole? I'm guessing not. I could be wrong, but I'm guessing that's not the case. Of course, this is crypto, so there's no lack of irony when we look back at the way Stakehound was pushed to people even back in April. Somebody asked, are there any that are rug proof? Like there is no way we can lose our ETH by a hack or something. And this person down below responded, at Stake Tokens, which I believe is Stakehound, uses Fireblocks institutional grade custody and is a Swiss incorporated entity. With Stakehound though, you know who's behind and the rules we have to follow. Trust is always required, but you know who is behind and the rules we have to follow. Institutional grade custody. If institutional grade custody means that you just lose the private keys and $75 million of your users' money is gone, then it sounds like institutional grade custody is not a good thing at all. If I'm understanding correctly, it sounds like they found out about this on May 2nd. And they made this big announcement on June 22nd, right? I mean, I guess that's what you do when $75 million of other people's money is lost. You probably take a couple months to try to see if there's any way you can get that money back. And then when that doesn't work, you probably try to sue somebody, right? To show the world it was not your fault, right? But the thing is, these types of incidents, they're calling this a key management incident. I would call it a key loss incident. These things keep happening in Ethereum. And when they happen in Ethereum, it's almost always due to some form of centralization, right? It's always this weird deviation, some kind of perversion of the inherent decentralization of a decentralized blockchain, right? Ethereum, what should be a decentralized blockchain. With the DAO hack, everybody put all of their money into a smart contract. That smart contract gets hacked. Boom, tens of millions of dollars lost. What was it? 50 million, I think, was lost in the DAO hack, and then reversed when they broke the immutability of the Ethereum blockchain. Here we have 75 million lost. If I remember right, this is bigger than the DAO hack. This is like bigger than the DAO hack. And this is because of another perversion of decentralization, right? It's like Ethereum 2.0 stake pools, right? No lessons were learned in the DAO hack, right? Hey, the DAO hack happened because we centralized a bunch of Ethereum in one spot. Let's do that again with staking in Ethereum 2.0. Let's not have people stake from their own wallets, just delegate their stake from their own wallets, like in Cardano, where you can even cold stake from your ledger or your other hardware wallet. Let's have people actually send their crypto to the stake pools, right? That can't go wrong. So this has been one of those constant things in Ethereum, right? The rug pulling incidents. It's always when you send your Ethereum to somebody else, right? If you think about it, the only time you should be sending your crypto to anybody else, really, the only really necessary time you should be sending your crypto to anybody else is when you spend it, right? When you want to sell your Ethereum, when you want to sell your Cardano, sell your Bitcoin, that's when you send it to somebody else. When you've got money in hand, when things go awry, is when you decide to give your crypto to somebody else, trusting that certain things will happen, right? In this case, trusting that they're just going to stake it and then they're going to give it back and it's not going to get lost in between A and B. But when the bad things happen, it's often because you followed that exact route, right? You handed your crypto to somebody and you expected it to be safe, but they absconded with it. They lost the keys. They got hacked. The vast majority of hacks involve this kind of thing. I mean, there are a lot of hacks of individuals. Some people store their crypto poorly. They use an easily guessable brain wallet for their Bitcoin, right? Those get hacked all the time. If you try to put, if you try to put some Bitcoin right now into a brain wallet corresponding to the private key Satoshi, right? It's going to get stolen within, half a second or something. These are predictable. What isn't predictable is you do exactly what your gigantic protocol says you should do. That's send your Ethereum to the stake pool so it can be staked, and then the keys get lost. You can't really blame these poor people who just lost their money. Ethereum is a huge protocol. It's a $228 billion protocol at the prices at the time I'm recording. If somebody has, some small amount of Ethereum and a $228 billion protocol tells them, hey, this is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to send your ETH to a stake pool. Of course, they're going to do it. The blame really lies with the design of the protocol. So why is it that Ethereum wants you to send your ETH to a stake pool? It's because Ethereum is a slashing-based protocol. ETH 2.0 proof of stake, it involves slashing. They say it right here, risks, staking risks. Although you can earn rewards for doing work that benefits the network, you can lose ETH for malicious actions, going offline, and failing to validate. Do you get it? There would be no way for them to do the slashing if you were just staking from your own wallet, like in Cardano, right? They couldn't slash your stake if it was sitting on your ledger, like if you were cold staking, or if it was just sitting in your Yoroi wallet, because the network doesn't have access to move funds out of your wallet without you signing with your private key. So they need you to send it somewhere where they can slash it if you engage in any of this malicious behavior, if the Stakepool goes offline or if you fail to validate. But that also means that someone else is controlling some private keys that control those funds. They had a couple choices. When they designed Ethereum 2.0, they had a couple choices. They could have done what Cardano did. They could have said, hey, the easy way to do this is to have slashing. People, when they stake their crypto, they actually lose it if they do anything we don't like, right? If they do anything malicious, or in Ethereum's case, even if the stake pool goes offline, you can lose Ethereum, which a lot of people in Ethereum probably don't realize that. But if you screw up at all, you can lose Ethereum. You can lose your Ethereum in ETH 2.0. That's the easy way to do it, right? Of course, staking, the easy way to conceptualize staking is, hey, you lose your stake if you screw up. It's a lot more complicated to go to Oxford and hire game theoreticians who prove out that you don't have to do this, right? That's a lot more costly and actually involves engaging in the academic world. Something that Vitalik says he doesn't want to do because he doesn't think it has a good ROI. How's 75 million bucks for an ROI? Maybe that's not a lot to Vitalik when compared to the $228 billion market cap of Ethereum, but that 75 bucks is really important to the people who just lost it, right? And it didn't have to be this way. If they would have gone to the work of figuring out that there was a better way to do proof of stake, then they wouldn't have forced people to send their Ethereum to stake pools. And the reason they have to do that is because they did proof of stake the easy way, right? It's super easy to make sure that people don't do anything malicious when you just slash their stake if they do anything malicious, right? That's the intellectually lazy way to do this. The complicated hard way is figuring out the right parameters so that people won't do anything malicious or negligent without engaging in slashing. That's the hard way. But Ethereum didn't do it that way, right? It doesn't have there's not a good return on investment in academic research. Don't get me wrong, bad things are going to happen in the Cardano ecosystem too. Cardano is a big ecosystem. There's a lot of big projects, and some of these projects are going to lose users' money. It's going to happen in every single ecosystem. There will be rug pulls and lost keys and hacks, just like any other large ecosystem. But the founders and builders of Cardano, they actually believed there was an ROI in doing the research to try to create a system that would mitigate that as much as possible. They actually thought that not losing $75 million of your users' money was a sufficient ROI to do the research. Talk to you tomorrow.